People always ask me how I balance work, university, gym, traveling, and content creating. The truth is, hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be talking about how I balance my chaotic life. If you know me or if you follow my Instagram, you know that I work a regular 9 to 5 at the moment. I also am a uni student. I go gym. I've also started content creating, so you know there's just like a lot of stuff that I'm doing like day to day, and my week is always so packed. There was a point in my life where I actually used to do full-time work as well as going to uni, and if you want a video on that, I can also give that if you guys are interested. This video is just basically like talk about how I balance everything all at once. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, it's not easy. I don't perfectly myself balance it. Like, that's just me being upfront. I'm not going to, try and be some fake guru on social media and be like, yeah, like I put down everything on my big calendar list and put the time and put the date. No, I don't do that. I need to probably start doing that, but I feel like that just makes my life seem so fake and artificial. I'm not actually living. I'm actually just going by a schedule. Like, and I don't like that. I only want to feel like that when I'm in uni, school, work. That's when I want to feel like, okay, my life is going by in time. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with work. I work as catering on trains, and I do work part-time, and during the summers I do full-time, and I also work whilst I'm in uni. So yeah, it's a bit stressful, but at the same time, like, I used to do way worse, like full-time in retail assistant whilst in uni. My schedule is normally built around my work schedule. I first wait for my schedule for my work to pop up on my phone, and then I work around it. And if I can't be able to work around it, I just let my manager know, look, hey, I have something that's happening in uni that I cannot be able to attend this shift, and I need you to, like, adjust my time. Either I can work it but a later shift, or I just cannot work it at all. But I have accepted that I do have to work, and as a uni student that is studying a healthcare degree, how do you even find time to even work while studying such an intense course? The degree isn't going to get me my money. Like, I mean, it is going to get me my money at the end, but like, the degree isn't funding for my studies or my education, or just those things in between. Then there's also university. Now I've kind of briefly explained that whenever there's not uni, there's work, and whenever there's work, there's not uni. If I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for the week or the next week, I normally look at my college timetable for that week, and I tell my manager, like, look, these are the times I'm free, and you can give me shifts on these times. And sometimes, like, if I do need time to study for exam week, I tell my manager, look, I need time off. University is probably one of the hardest things that I have going for myself at the moment. I can't choose. I can't choose to be in university. I'm that type of person. I feel like I need a degree, and it's not even that a degree describes who you are, but it's just that me personally, I feel like I just need a degree because I did not do 18 years. That's how I feel personally. I just need to be in uni. Like, it's not a choice for me. Now, luckily, my course doesn't have any intense assignments, which is a good for me, because that gives me more leverage on whether I can, maybe increase my hours, or maybe I could, like, do gym or do just a bit of extra stuff that's not related to university. So having not that much intense assignments is a plus for my course. Now, my exams, they are split into two. There's always two exams in a whole year. There is the first semester and the second semester, and the first semester is just normally in December, just before Christmas, and then second semester is around summer. Exam seasons can actually get a bit intense when it comes to balancing everything in life. I do try to get through it. I do lock in for the first semester and make sure that I'm studying back to back. Now, the second semester is when I kind of, like, chill a bit until the last month of the semester, and then that's when I start revising everything from the start to the end. Let me be honest with you guys, like, I don't be locked in every single time. I do be laying back like for second semester. But first semester, like I do lock in placements. Now, because I study radiography, and some people might wonder what is radiography. We're healthcare professionals that, you know, work with equipments in the hospital which produces diagnostic imaging for radiologists to report on. Normally I have placement, like back in first year I had placement around May-ish for 1 month, and then I had placement just there again in November, and it was another month. It is really stressful during placement period. Like, it is so bad. Like half of the things I do have to get sacrificed, like gym and social life, travel, and just basic like stuff that I've enjoyed doing. Always, like, they get sacrificed during placement week, because we're working in the hospital from 9 or 8:30 a.m. in the morning till 4 p.m. and you're always on your feet running down from department to department. Like, you are running up and down, up and down. And the hospital that I had wasn't a small one, it was very big. So, you know, it was really exhausting after the first week or so. I'm literally like so tired. With shifts like that 5 days a week for 1 month, like when you go back home, you barely have time for yourself. You're normally always tired. You're straight to bed, and then when you wake up, it's like, what, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and then you're like, flip, I have placement again tomorrow at 9 a.m. so I have to, you know, find something to eat quick and then go back to bed and sleep off. And then on top of that, you need to like make sure you're studying, because in placement, at the end of your block for placement, you have these exams where you have to perform x-rays on people. It's basically like a driving test, like when they give you an x-ray and you have to bring in the patient, do your checks, and it's just really mentally draining, because there is particular things that they want you to say that's in the images, and there's particular things they want you to do when you're positioning the patient, and you have to just make sure you know everything. And if you fail, you do placement again for another week, and then if you fail that again, you fail the block, and then you have to repeat the whole month of placement. So don't get me wrong though, I do love placement, because at the end of the day, like, that's the profession I'm going to work at. So I do love it. It is fun, and I do have an interest in it, but it's just like, it does take a lot, like mentally, it just does take a lot after the first week. You are probably wondering, do I work whilst I'm on placement? And the answer is yes, I do work while I'm on placement. Normally when I'm on placement, I do let my managers know two months or 1 month in advance that, look, I am going to be on placement for 4 weeks, or I'm going to be on placement for 10 weeks, and you know, I just can't do regular shifts as you guys always provide. So I just need you guys to, you know, I can only work 2 days, which is a Saturday and a Sunday. That's how I normally worked whilst I was on placement. Gym, I do go to gym 4 or 5 times a week. I do be easy on myself when it comes to gym. Gym is not one of those things that I'm really strict on compared to university and work. Gym is just that type of thing I go to just because I like seeing the change it does to my body. Free plastic surgery. Nah, just joking. I just like going to gym just to see myself progress more and more and more. And you know, also the dopamine that I get from it. And even if like I'm studying the whole day, I definitely want to go to gym just to, you know, relieve that stress. And just now, my routine for going to gym would be, I normally go to gym at the evening or even the night. I normally go at around like 9 o'clock, half 9, 10ish, then come back at 11:30. So that's when the gym closes. But I am trying to change that though. I am trying to go to gym earlier, because you know, I'm not supposed to be going to gym really late, because then that does affect my sleep schedule. And you know, having sleep is important. I told you my main 3 pillars of what I balance. And then now, social life. Social life is one of those ones that is like, you know, how do you actually have a social life when you're doing all of this at the same time? That's when my travel comes in. I use that as like a social boost when, you know, I've worked so hard and I've done so much, and I go out with my friends, and it's just those things that, like, you know, they just pop up, and then you're like, oh, like I really want to go there. And then you look at your work timetable and you're like, oh, I'm off on this day, and do you want to go out on this day, or do you want to do something on that day? I don't really want too much socializing at the moment, because I am still trying to build myself. I want to make sure that I am stable, you know, I actually graduate and I have my goals ticked off. I just don't want any distractions at the moment, but like I do still have that socializing. He probably has everything so set. I really do not. Like, at the end of the day, I'm only a 19-year-old I'm only 19. Like I'm still fairly young. Like I don't be put my life in a spreadsheet and live off it. Like no, I still do spontaneous things, but I do make sure that I prioritize different things like uni, work, then a bit of gym, and then a bit of studying, and then a bit of traveling. Like, do you get what I mean? And now that I'm doing content creating, like I just do this on the side because it's a hobby. Like another thing that I do is side investing as well. Like I have my own portfolio and I do be saving, you know, my money on there. I do have savings. I have investments, and I also, like, you know, I also budget my money as well. Normally when it's payday, that's when I start buying all my groceries for the whole week. Whenever I'm off either on a Saturday or a Sunday, that's when I cook everything and make the meal prep. Sometimes I do be lazy. Sometimes I just be like, oh, like damn. Sometimes I don't do, sometimes I have my quiet days where I don't actually socialize and do anything, and I just stay at home and, you know, doom scroll. I'm like, I'm not going to be fake on here. Like I'm going to be so real. I do try to better myself in everything as well. Like with gym, with college, even with work. Now there's never a problem with work because me like money, and me not fucking up with money. So yeah. So guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it this far, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.